There's been constant drama with Green Bay Packers and their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. First, they traded up for Jordan Love. Then he goes and has an MVP season that he's on jeopardy. And now there's more drama going on. The question today is at SOS Discussion, and I'm going to go to Tony first. Will Aaron Rodgers be in a Green Bay Packers uniform this season?
Well, I think we can expect that he won't be in the Green Bay Packers uniform this season. There's been a constituent with the Packers and Aaron Rodgers for years that's been building up, even since Mike McCarthy was there. Well, he didn't get a first round receiver. Well, the talent around him probably wasn't good enough. Well, too much was on Aaron Rodgers to have to win games. And now, Aaron has gotten sick of what is not being done right around him. Now, I do question a couple of things where I thought that Aaron Rodgers did have the things that needed to go out and win a Super Bowl or win playoff games or be in the NFC divisional championship. But obviously those things are not good enough for him. And, when you're Aaron Rodgers, when you have a Super Bowl, when you're one of the best quarterbacks in the league, you do have a say-so with a front office that did not want him to have anything to do with the choices that they were making. And I can look and say that, most notable to the Texans and Deshaun Watson's problem, that is a problem when you don't go and consult your Super Bowl winning quarterback on which direction that the team, let alone even his offense, should be going. And obviously you bring in Matt LaFleur, and he's done good things for the Green Bay Packers and that run game and helping Aaron Rodgers out. But, it's not to Aaron Rodgers' liking to where, I felt Valdez Scantling and Lazard were two guys that can come up and get better, and they have gotten better. But, when Devontae Adams is your lone go-to guy and he feels like it shouldn't be all on me just trying to get him the ball and him just making plays, that then becomes an issue. And, at the end of the day, it's still going to be Aaron Rodgers at, his own choice to say, hey, I'm just not going to show up for training camp at all. I'm going to hold out this season altogether. And then the Packers are going to have to be forced to make a move in which there is no other move just based on Aaron Rodgers' silence and then coming out saying he really doesn't want to too much speak on the Packers or he won't want to return at all. There has to be a decision made fairly soon, and I expect one to be made before the season starts.
Yeah, I think that Aaron Rodgers will be in the Green Bay uniform this season, but honestly, the Packers don't deserve Aaron Rodgers and his services. When you look at these teams, right, quarterback is the premium position in the NFL right now, right? And so you look at how these other teams are handling their star quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, we saw him running for his life in the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs literally went and flipped his whole O-line. Like they were playing Madden. I don't even know what salary cap they're using. Joe Burrow has the worst O-line in the NFL, and instead of getting him a lineman, they went and drafted his partner because he told them to. And Jamar Chase, now he's going to be a good receiver, and they needed the number one. But essentially, they ignored their biggest need just because Joe Burrow said, I want Jamar Chase, right? And the Packers, they're treating him like he's Ryan Fitzpatrick or something. Like they haven't drafted a skill position in the first round in over 10 years. I know they've had some productive second and third and fourth round receivers and tight ends, but why not make that investment for your quarterback? Even this year with all the rumbles and all the things going on, they go draft a corner that's fast, but I mean, he's faster than he can really cover. Like they drafted him because he runs a 4.2, So it's like you're still neglecting Aaron Rodgers. We've heard the stories about his relationship with Jake Kumerow. Like obviously Jake Kumerow wasn't having too much of an impact on the field, but if Aaron Rodgers liked Jake Kumerow, then keep Jake Kumerow. He comes out in the media and talks about how much he likes this kid, and then the next day you release him. Like you're literally like Gutekunst, whatever his name is, he's being like the anti-Aaron Rodgers. Like he's like trying to out-petty Aaron Rodgers. This is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I know he's 1-4 in NFC championship games, but he's going to go down as one of the 5 best quarterbacks of all time. And you need to do everything in your power to take care of Aaron Rodgers. And it just seems like the Packers are like, no, we're going to be stiff and we're going to stay over here and you figure it out. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and the Packers are stupid.
I have to agree with you, John. I think Aaron Rodgers pretty much is going to be with Green Bay. I think he's going to shake the tree enough to try to force a trade as he's already doing. But Green Bay is just being stubborn and not wanting to release him. And I understand it. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback to where he's good enough to where they feel like they don't need to surround him with a certain type of supporting cast because he's Aaron Rodgers. And so they do as they feel they can do. And he's stuck in a position of, I can do more with less, and so they're not going to give me more. And so I think he's going to continue to try to force that issue of a trade, but I just don't know if I see Green Bay going ahead and pulling that trigger.
Man, when I look at this Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers situation, I had it all confused. I used to think that it was about the surroundings that he had, that it was about not drafting a first-round receiver or not having a strong number 2 guy, because that's the media-driven narrative that he doesn't have any talent around him. And I used to have so much pushback, and that pushback that I had blinded me from what it really is. And that this conversation is all about feelings and emotions. And one thing I've noticed over life, you can't tell somebody not to have emotions. You can't tell them not to feel a certain way. It's not fair to them. But what I can do is talk about these emotions. Are you overreacting a tad bit? And in my opinion, Aaron Rodgers is, because it comes down to Jordan Love. I think everything else happened, but it was a domino effect, and it just finally toppled over with Jordan Love. You drafted his replacement. Rodgers didn't feel too good about that. I understand. I get it. I'm Aaron Rodgers, and you drafted my replacement. So you're essentially going with the narrative that seemed like I was on the decline, which was the narrative back then. But if I'm looking at Aaron, you did what you needed to do to respond to them drafting a quarterback. See, when you draft this guy, your response is not, oh man, they drafted me, y'all hate me, X, Y, and Z. You went on and had an MVP season. In the 365 days since Jordan Love was drafted, Aaron Rodgers has went on to be an MVP, and Jordan Love has went on to be an inactive third-string quarterback. You cannot tell me that you are reasonably scared right now for your job. I get it. You have your feelings hurt, but I feel like you're doing everything you need to do. Keep playing the way that you're playing, and Jordan Love will get traded. That would have been my response. So I do feel like Aaron Rodgers is blowing this a little bit out of proportion. You've done everything you need to do. Continue to be a great quarterback, and the Packers will continue to invest in you. I feel like they're investing in your offensive line. It was one of the best in football last year. They're still doing it. Kevin King got baptized in the NFC Championship game, and they're looking like, man, if this guy could have covered, we might be in a Super Bowl right now, and probably hoisting up the Lombardi with Kansas City's offensive line troubles. They got a corner. Question on the quality of, they got him. They got Amari Rodgers, who I think could be good in the slot. They are doing things to build the team, not just everything to keep Aaron Rodgers happy. But I feel like everything that Aaron Rodgers needs is to get rid of Jordan Love. That's what he needs to be happy.
Yeah, I disagree with you on that. I think when you look at them moving up last year to take Jordan Love, I think that sends a clear as day message to Aaron Rodgers. When you look at these first round players, right, they have 4-year contracts and then they have the 5th-year option. So you would obviously need to see Jordan Love before you would get to that decision in the 5th-year option. So they basically told Aaron Rodgers, you're going to be our starter for 1 to 2 more years. Secondly, right, like you talked about, like why he's being concerned. It's not just about the Jordan Love thing. We saw all of these contracts this offseason getting added voided years to it, stretching them out, spacing that salary cap, the signing bonus out over years, adding void years so that teams could create more cap space. The Packers refused to do that because they didn't want to add more years to his contract or put themselves in a position to where they would have to keep them longer than they want to. They've been sending clear messaging to Aaron Rodgers that they don't want him in the building for too much longer. The only reason they haven't gotten rid of him yet is because Jordan Love isn't sufficient enough on the field for them to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. They've been sending him messaging that they don't see him as the future. I mean, I know he's older, and they've also been antagonizing him in ways that no other team does their quarterback. So I think they've sent a clear message to Aaron Rodgers that he's the short term and he's not the long term, even after them winning that MVP.
Actually, but I look at that as a split though, in between your take and what Darian just said, where the Packers done everything that they could to put necessary talent. It may not have been the talent that Aaron Rodgers wanted, but he got a good running back. He got a good receiving core. He has a decent defense that was needed to get him to the playoffs year after year after year. And the Packers have done that. I think when you look at a guy that's 37 years old, I can go back in the draft and say, now, should I have selected a quarterback in the first round? Probably not. Should I have selected a quarterback maybe in the second or third? Maybe. Would Aaron Rodgers be pissed off? Who knows? But I can say I can start grooming his replacement, or at least saying in the next 2 to 3 years, when you get ready to retire and go out of the door, then boom, here's the next guy up, and the franchise itself can keep moving. I won't blame the Packers for thinking about the overall aspect of what's going to be happening after Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is thinking about what's happening now while I'm here. And neither side is wrong. It's just both sides compromising, which to your sake, the Packers have not done that with Aaron Rodgers. You didn't want him a part of anything that was going on as far as building the team, and he wanted to try to have a say-so in that so that both sides could be happy, and they just hadn't done that.
See, hold on one second. I do think Tony's right. I do want to respond to something that John said, though. They tried to restructure his contract, and then they said that he wanted an extension. and then they offered him an extension and it got turned down. Now, obviously, all of these are reports. I wasn't there for it, but that is the report of it. So it's a situation where it takes two to tango, and it seems like Rodgers doesn't really want to put on his dancing shoes. I think he is ultimately upset. When I look at the situation with Jordan Love, if we were in the same situation, they didn't have a quarterback, they wouldn't have drafted one this year because things changed. It looked like Rodgers might have had just 2 more years left and he was done, but now he looks like an MVP candidate. Not to mention that he sat for 3 years anyway. But I just feel like if he continues to play at this level, Jordan Love naturally will leave. I don't think that they will replace a well-playing Aaron Rodgers with a maybe in Jordan Love, but he is making this situation go by a lot faster the way they have to. And I just want to answer the question. I don't think that we see Aaron Rodgers in a Green Bay uniform because I feel like he has felt utterly disrespected. My constituent, he brought up a great point about Kumaro getting cut the day after. And I feel like those two things might have just been too much. And he's drawing a line in the sand that I don't think he's willing to go back across.
Yeah, and just real quick, I get the point about, drafting Jordan Love, like preparing for the future and all of that. But you look at it, nobody knows Aaron Rodgers better than the Packers. They knew what they have in the building, right? So they're talking about he's declining and all of this. You draft Jordan Love, he goes and wins MVP. The second round, they take A.J. Dillon as the Aaron Jones replacement, and then they give Aaron Jones a long-term deal. So we can't sit here and give the Packers credit like they know what they're doing either, right? So end of the day, they're antagonizing Aaron Rodgers, and they're not treating him like all these other teams in the NFL treat their franchise quarterback. The Jaguars treat Trevor Lawrence better than the Packers treat Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know. They got that boy flying commercial. You couldn't fly him out private. I couldn't fly Lawrence out private, man.
Hey, they got to treat him like a rookie at some point, man.
They just gotta own up and say, hey, I drafted Jordan Love. I was wrong. And that's the first step to repairing the relationship. I just don't know. It might be too far gone.
I definitely think this is very interesting. We can all agree that Jordan Love started this. Them drafting him in the first round, trading up, really started things. But you got to look at it in another way. Tom Brady just won a championship, and they did that with an old quarterback that's a Hall of Famer. I think you have to appreciate your Hall of Famer, appreciate a guy who's going to win MVPs and be the best guy on the field every day, every week. So it's a definitely interesting situation. They look good if Jordan Love becomes a great guy, becomes a guy for the franchise. We really don't know that because of COVID. We're not seeing the practices. So that's one side we really don't know. But we do know that Aaron Rodgers just won an MVP, and they're not giving him what he wants. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if he's in a Green Bay Packers uniform next year. Tell us what y'all think in the comment section. Like the video, share the video. We'll see y'all next time.